But today is very exciting. Where are we?
We're at the Ark Encounter. And this is, it's the Ark.
Yes, they built an ark in Kentucky. Who knew?
And it's an exact replica, the same size. So we're going to show you all about it. Whether you're a Christian or not, this is a fascinating experience. From the parking lot, you're loaded into buses and taken into the Ark experience. And your first glimpse of the Ark is awe-inspiring.
Built by biblical directions, it is exactly what Noah would have built. The size alone is breathtaking. It was built 5 stories tall, hired 700 employees to build, and cost $120 million.
As you get closer to the Ark, you get a feel of the anticipation of the animals as the topiary couples are walking towards the entrance.
Monoliths along the path highlight different parts of the Bible leading up to the flood.
The reconstruction of the Ark is undoubtedly a massive undertaking. Of the 5 stories, 3 of them contain exhibits. They are so lifelike, but in some areas, some artistic license has been used to a great overall effect. They went to great lengths to ensure that we understood the techniques that were used to build this structure.
One of the first exhibits showed how Noah's family worshipped God in the flood's beginning rains, giving thanks for their deliverance. One exhibit I really enjoyed was the reptile and amphibian jars. I found them very interesting. They stored several moths in a jug alongside the cage so that the animals ate the insects and would have a renewable food source.
The first animal cages you see are for small animals. They show ingenious systems for feeding and cleaning. You will find links in our comments section on just how they designed the animal cages for the Ark. Rows and rows of cages fill the entire length of the Ark, all 510 feet of it.
The premise here is based on what God said in Genesis 6:20 about packing every kind of animal. So Noah packed the beginning of the species.
Like the Hespersion, which the wolf, the jackal, foxes, and other dog kinds descended from. They also point out that animals at that time period look different than their descendants. Early giraffes, for instance, have a shorter neck. But did you know that today there are still short-necked giraffes around?
And yes, they have dinosaurs on the Ark. Lots of them.
As you look up through the floors, you'll see these amazing ramps. But they're not just beautiful, they're functional because they get you from one floor to the next.
They even answer questions I hadn't thought of.
This clay jar supplied water to 2 cages. There is some controversy in the scientific community about the dinosaurs being in the same space as humans.
My opinion as a human? I think God does whatever He wants.
The doors of the Ark that looked so small from the outside were enormous.
In between the countless animal displays, they had other exhibits, such as the humans on the ship.
I've been building boats most of my life, but of course never anything this large. So it took me a while to plan the construction, and there were some difficulties to overcome. But God is wise and knows everything, and He provides all we need.
Each of Noah's family members were given jobs, keeping records of the journey, tending gardens, cooking, feeding animals, cleaning up after the animals, and tending the aviary. By the living quarters on one of the upper decks was the aviary.
They showed how the family gathered round with great expectation once they released the dove.
There was also an exhibit showing the degradation of mankind, which led to the flood.
Did they heed the countless warnings from God?
No, they laughed at Noah as he built the boat. We ourselves had a giggle at this sign in the ark.
One display goes over all the flood stories from different cultures. There's a display on the Ice Age as well. All of this is on the 3rd floor.
The designers of the Ark Encounter have plans to build other parks that will immerse the curious into biblical stories of creation and the Tower of Babel. As if this wasn't enough, the grounds have other places of interest. There were playgrounds. There are several small cafes. We chose to go to Imzara's Kitchen, a wonderful buffet of really well-prepared food at reasonable prices.
A flood of reality is a virtual reality and sensory experience which takes you back through time. There we see the building of the ark and its subsequent use during the flood. Travelers are then taken forward in time back to the present day. Ararat Ridge Zoo is a place where kids can see and pet animals, except for this guy, a Goliath bird-eating tarantula, who will grow to be a foot long and have 1-inch fangs. The Ark Encounter.
The Ark Encounter was an encounter indeed. It was fascinating. Only 3 floors of this were developed, and there was so much to see. We were there 4 hours on simply 3 floors of the Ark. So I have no problem believing Noah could have packed all the animals in.
It's just really well done, isn't it? Even down to the details of how they fed them and cleaned them. And I was struck by the enormity of this thing. It's huge.
You read cubits and, it doesn't really mean anything to you, but when you're an ant next to the boat, the ship, yeah.
There were families there and people were, they were reliving the stories that they read in the Bible and putting some, flesh on the bones, so to speak. I think they did an absolutely marvelous job.
Can't help but give a shameless plug. We are starting an alpha that is a place that's very, very safe to come in and ask anything you want to ask. We show videos and then we talk about it. Love to have you join us. It's online.
And it begins September the 19th. And you can simply go to our website, robanddenise.com, and you'll see a little alpha course video on there and register, and there you go. But so many people have got questions about faith in general, and these are difficult times, and so Alpha's a great safe place to do it.
And it's Zoom, so if you don't feel comfortable, hang up.
Great day out. We totally loved it, and anybody who's remotely in Kentucky, put the Ark Encounter on your list. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you like our videos, please press the subscribe button.